Be honest with yourself as a lady. You probably had itching in your vagina and discharge that looked so strange. And if you've rushed to ask Google, it told you that you likely had 5 different infections. Like only you have 5 different infections. And because you just want to be safe, you've gone to the pharmacy and asked them to treat you for a yeast infection. But after a week, like after using everything they gave you from the pharmacy, after a week, the itching still continues. This can be so annoying. I mean, having vaginal itching can be very, very annoying. But you want to know what is even more annoying? Treating the wrong infection. That one is killing because it's like a waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy. Treating for the wrong infection is so annoying. And that is why it is very important that as ladies, we get to know the common infection that affect us, because with that, you can be able to tell the difference between this from that. And it keeps you guided whenever any of the infection comes up. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 very common infections that affects women. And you know what? They are so common, but a lot of ladies do not know it. And sadly, we tend to misinterpret it. But not to worry, today you're going to fully understand them. And after now, you will not misinterpret it again. But before I actually share this with you, we need to agree on something, ladies. We need to agree that our vagina is self-cleansing. I know you've been hearing this for years, over and over. But see, today we need to agree on it that our vagina is self-cleansing, because knowing this is actually the foundation of every other thing I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay? Now, the very first infection I want you as a lady to be very aware of is called bacterial vaginosis, like BV. You see this particular infection? It's something that many women ignore, and I will tell you why. This infection, the way you can spot it easily is through the smell. Yes, it has a very fishy, foul odor. If you should pull off your panties, the odor hits differently. It hits so bad. And it's very, very obvious after your period or after you just had sex. You see this particular smell. You self, you can't even withstand it. You feel, oh, I think maybe I'm so dirty. Let me just clean one. By that, you begin to doubt. Most ladies begin to use, they'll put soap into their sponge and take it inside to squeeze in all the dirt out. But in that case, you are not even doing it any good. You are worsening the infection more. Another thing is that it has a tiny discharge, a gray discharge. The second infection that is very common among ladies is yeast infection. And see, like I said, it is very, very common. But right in this video, I'm going to be showing you the ways you can easily identify it without misunderstanding it. I have actually observed that for you to watch this video, it shows that you're very intentional about your health and you really want to stay fit. That is why my team and I, we're actually encouraging you to follow us, subscribe to Health Tuesday. There are things you're going to get when you do this. The first is that when you actually do this, you are encouraging thousands of women out there that you don't see to get access to this same information. Yes, by the time you subscribe, you are going to actually encourage them, push it out to them to actually get access to this same information that will also keep them fit. And also, by the time you share to those around you, listen, they will forever remain grateful to you. And that is a sure thing. I'm telling you, they will remain grateful to you. So go ahead, follow us, subscribe, like, share, and thank you for doing that. We love you so much. Now, let's get back to how you can actually spot this infection and you'll be able to get rid of it if you have it. Do you understand? Now, I know when I mentioned yeast, a lot of persons were like, yes, I know yeast. Oh, yeast. It's very common, but most times some ladies still confuse it. They don't really know that, oh, this is yeast. Like, this is yeast. They don't get to know the difference. That is why I want you to just imagine it this way. When we talk about yeast infection, just imagine a very thick, like a very thick discharge. Like, it's like a thick cottage discharge lying on your underwear. Or even if you see it in your vulva. Sometimes you can confuse the color, but it's like a cheese color, like a pap color. If you know pap, custard, sometimes it takes that form. The second thing you can use to identify yeast infection is that it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't have a bad smell. Unlike BV that it is. Mm-mm. Yeast infection doesn't smell like that. It just have a yeast kind of smell like a bread. And finally, for yeast infection, it's itchy. Like itching is crazy. The itching, you just don't want to stop. At some point, if you look at your vulva very well, if you're very sensitive, it's already getting red or it's swollen. The itching is so bad. The third infection we're going to be looking at for today is very tricky. And I'm serious when I say it's very tricky. Also, you need to understand that this particular one I'm about to unveil to you is sexually transmitted. So if you're sexually active, pay attention. Now, it is called Trichomoniasis. And just like you name it, guys, it's tricky. Trichomoniasis, right? When you have this infection, you begin to feel pain when you have sex. Like if you have sex with your spouse, you are likely to feel pain. And then you start wondering, oh, I think I had just painful sex. No, what you need to be looking at is that, oh, does any one of us have infection? Because trichomoniasis actually causes one to have painful sex. And also, if you urinate, you are likely to feel that hot, that pain as well when you urinate. If you get to look at this particular infection, it has yellow and green discharge. So don't actually feel it is normal. Because somebody's like, maybe discharge, okay, it's normal. No, it needs to be addressed, please. Because nobody should actually live with any of this infection. Here's my final words regarding this common infection for us as ladies. There is nothing as annoying as treating the wrong infection. That is why personally I would advise that if you have any of this symptom, and fine, you are able to now differentiate the symptoms this from this, please go for the exact treatment. Don't begin to think of using something else in alternative. No, go for the exact treatment. Final tip I actually give to women is go for a test. This is very important, please, as ladies, because it is very possible to have BV infection and also have yeast infection. But if you are treating for just one, it's as good as treating for nothing. So go for a test, because when you go for a test, it will dictate the infections you have. And most importantly, it will also show the drugs that is sensitive to your own body. Don't just say, my friend used this antibiotics, let me also use the same thing. You might be resistant to it. Your body might not like it. So go for a test. It will show you the drug you are sensitive to. This is something I actually encourage lots of women who call for consultation. And next week on Health Tuesday, I'll be letting you know why you actually pee every 5 minutes, because that can actually be a sign of another infection that you need to be aware of. Yes. So do not stay connected. You will get to know the reason why some ladies or why you get to pee every 5 minutes. Don't feel, oh, I think I just drank a lot of water. It might be that you have an infection. But not to worry, I'll let you know about it. Thank you for staying to the end. See you in another episode of Health Tuesday. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye.